Hello friends, welcome to Lug Life and welcome to the parking garage of Anchorage International Airport. You guys, I just got done speaking at an event here in Anchorage and my flight boards in like 40 minutes. I'm going to Seattle for the weekend. I'm so excited. This is a last minute whirlwind trip. I'm going down there for a concert tomorrow night, just for some rest and relaxation, and fingers crossed I'll be able to make it to a Seahawks game tonight. I'll fill you in more on that, but we've got to go get through security, get to our gates. So to try to make this as easy as possible, I'm not checking a bag. I packed everything I need in just a carry-on for the weekend because my flight gets into Seattle at 6:50 p.m. or it's scheduled to get in at 6:50 p.m. The Seahawks game tonight starts at 7. So my hope is that I'm going to get off the airplane, grab a ride to downtown, drop my bags off at my hotel, and quickly run over to the stadium to hopefully catch, fingers crossed, at least like the second half of the game. We'll see if it happens. Because today is kind of a crazy day here in Anchorage, Alaska, as President Trump and Vladimir Putin are here, so there may be some flight delays. All right, I have made it through TSA, and I actually have a little bit more time than I thought. I think I have time to go to the Alaska lounge and change before my flight. I want to put on Seahawks gear in the event I am able to make the game. So let's go to the lounge, grab something to drink, maybe a little snack, and then change into Seahawks stuff for, fingers crossed, the game. You guys, this whole Trump-Putin thing has just obviously disrupted airspace over Anchorage all day, so I hope I'm able to get out on time. All right, Alaska Lounge, here we go. Let's see, food in the Alaska Lounge. We've got carrots, mac and cheese. Oh, heck yes, pulled pork and beans. We got a couple soups, got pretzel rolls, then we've got lots of different food and salads. So when they have the mac and cheese and pulled pork, this is my favorite way to eat it. Just like pile the pulled pork on top of the mac and cheese. And I also got their cocktail of the month, some kind of a cranberry sunset thing. So I'm not sure if you guys can see out there, but that is something you do not see on American runways very often. There is a Russian airplane out there. You can see the Russian flag on the tail. I heard that a lot of the dignitaries and media that were coming over from Russia, their plane landed here at Anchorage International, and there's one of them right there. And then, of course, the meeting taking place on the military base. You guys, I did it. I am changed, ready for my flight. It boards in about 6 minutes. Next stop, Seattle. Here we go, boarding our flight to Seattle. You guys, I have made it to Seattle. Now the rush to get a lift downtown. I've ordered my lift. Kickoff was 7 minutes ago. So let's see how quick we can get from SeaTac to my hotel, drop off my suitcase, get checked in, and make it over to the stadium. All right, friends, listen, I have made it to the hotel. I don't even know what time it is. Hold on, let me pull out my phone and check and see. It is currently 7:40 p.m. I'm pulling up ESPN right now to see how much time is left in the game. They are just starting the second quarter. I'm totally gonna make it there by halftime. Oh my gosh, this worked out perfectly. Now, I am staying at a hotel I've never stayed at, but that I've always wanted to. It is called the Arctic Club, and I'm gonna give you a full room tour. I'm gonna show you more about it because this place, holy cow. Here's all I'll say. When I checked in, they gave me a glass of Prosecco. I'm gonna drink this. I'm gonna walk to the stadium. I'm bringing you guys with me. Let's go watch the Seahawks. All right, so my hotel is near the corner of Cherry and 3rd. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna head down to 1st. I'm gonna take a left, and that is going to swing me right up to the stadium. It's actually not that far. It's probably only 10, 15 minutes or so. Now, some of you will know this, some of you may not. This is my second season being a Seahawks season ticket holder. After waiting a decade on the waiting list, I finally got my tickets last season. I try to go to a couple games a year. I'm going to 2 games, 2 regular season games later this season. And it just so worked out that the Lumineers concert was tomorrow night, and I was able to make it down tonight for the preseason game against the Kansas City Chiefs. How great is this? All right, I said I was gonna walk down to first. I actually turned on second. So I'm gonna walk up here a ways. The stadium is actually like right up here, so it's not that far away. This is so surreal, you guys, because 6 hours ago, I was home in Anchorage talking to a Rotary Club about the injustice of human trafficking. And now I'm in Seattle in the rain, walking to a Seahawks game. And I have made it. Lumen Field, one of my happy places. Stop one, going through security. First stop before I head to my seats, which are actually right over there. I gotta see the field.
Third down.
Well, friends, I have made it to my seats for this season. So last year, my seats were literally on the other side. So I'm here in what's called the Toyota fan deck. So I actually do have access to that little covered area down there. So I was standing there for a little bit. Here is the 12th man flag they raise before every game. I love the skyline view from the seats. My plan in coming years is actually to stay in these sections, just move down further. So there you go. I'm so glad I'm here. I love walking around the stadium. I've done lots of stadium tours here. This is the Super Bowl sign from New York when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. On a rainy day like today, Ivar's Chowder sounds perfect. It has been pouring down rain. I am absolutely soaked, and I think this may be the perfect food for this moment. And friends, just like that, my first Seahawks game of the season done. And it was a preseason win. I am soaked, but I am oh so happy. Now, starting to walk back to the hotel to change clothes and dry off. Well, hello friends, and good morning. Obviously, it is the next day. You guys, when I got back to my hotel last night, I was so soaking wet that I took a long hot bath that was so nice, and then I went to bed. And I slept so good. In fact, it was one of those nights where I woke up and I thought, oh man, it must only be like 6 a.m. And I looked and it was like almost 10 a.m. So I slept in, which I'm really glad. That was one of my goals, was to get good sleep on this trip, and it has happened. But I want to start the day by giving you a room tour, because this place is absolutely amazing. I'm staying at the Arctic Club Hotel here in the Pioneer Square area of Seattle. Very cool hotel, but a hotel with a really amazing history. In fact, I think the history may be one of my favorite things about this space. So let's start our morning in Seattle with a room tour. So I'm staying here in room 215 at the Arctic Club. First thing on our right is the bathroom, and my favorite part is how the door has like the glass and the bath on there. I've never seen that before. I think it's so cool. Now again, I have stayed in here for a day, so it's a little bit lived in. Love the tile floor with like the daisy pattern. Really nice vanity, nice big shower, also nice big tub. Like I said, the bath last night was absolutely amazing. I think the wallpaper pattern is very cool as well. That's my favorite. Closet that has, well, I'll show you, a safe. I've got some of my stuff hung up in there, extra pillows, a couple of robes, ironing board, lots of hangers. And I love even the art around here. This is Mount Rainier from 1918. So then as we step into the space, look at how awesome this is. Now, I'm not sure if all of the rooms on all the floors have these really high ceilings, but here on the second floor they do, and I am in love with that. So just kind of quick overview of the room. Very cool. Now let me point out a couple things. First of all, I want to point out this, because on the desk is a paper that basically tells the history of the Arctic Club Hotel, and the history is pretty fascinating. The Arctic Club actually started in the early 1900s, and it was originally a club for people coming back to Seattle who had struck it rich in the Klondike, in the gold rush. And I really love that because a lot of hotels in Seattle are very modern, just like very new. They're very generic, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's just not a lot of maybe character to them. I feel like the Arctic Club has so much character. It really plays well into the history of the Arctic Club when it started in the early 1900s with just lots of different touches that I'll show you here in the room and throughout the hotel. But sometimes historic can mean dated. You know what I mean by that? This hotel feels historic in a very like fresh and cool way. They've done history really well. In fact, you guys know I've come to Seattle basically for the last 20 plus years for business, for pleasure. I love Seattle. It's one of my favorite cities, and I have stayed in dozens of different hotels. This may be my favorite hotel I've ever stayed in all of Seattle for lots of reasons. Let me show you. So as I mentioned, obviously more of the history right there. Definitely take time to read that. I think it's super cool. I think the chair is just real funky. I love the lampshade. It's actually a map of Prince of Wales Island in Alaska. Super fun. Again, just big, tall windows. I love that. But then look over here. They got this little basket. You guys, I have never once stayed in a hotel that had a plush walrus. Are you kidding me? Now, of course, all this stuff for purchase, and they have the price sheet right there. It's got popcorn, pretzels, wine, lots of good things like that. And then as we turn around to the bed, come on, a bear pillow animal. I don't think I've ever stayed in a hotel that did, or not pillow, towel animals. I don't think I've ever stayed in a hotel that had towel animals. That's so cool. And then even here on the bed, I'm not sure it's going to show up, Arctic Club Hotel, like on the blanket. And then over here, this is fun. Like the nightstands, they look like old pieces of luggage, like old steamer trunks almost. And then the lampshades here, just like old cloth, but they pull out. Very nice, love that. And then all of the art in the room, like indigenous art, photographs, that kind of stuff. And then as we turn around over here, we've got, of course, real nice dresser, big TV. There's a fridge in there, but check this out. First of all, a stereo. How cool is that? Haven't seen that in a hotel room. And then this. They give you a French press and coffee. And then they give you instructions. Here's how to brew a great cup of coffee in a coffee press. I absolutely love that. And then you can see like just that walrus theme continues to play in through coasters, through like on all of their literature. This is one of my favorite features. Absolutely love that. And through this day, I'll show you more around the hotel because it really is absolutely beautiful. But so far, holy cow, the Arctic Club, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I stayed here. In fact, I think this may be, I told Sherry last night when I got back, I'm excited for her to stay here as well. I think she will love this. So we may have found our new Seattle hotel. Okay, so I just left my room and I want to show you one of the things they have here in the lobby are photos, like historical photos of members of the Arctic Club. How cool is that? And of course, they have lots of different things you can buy, like the walruses. I really love the Arctic Club hotel mugs. Their bar here is called the Polar Bar. We'll check that out later. And just lots of different merch and things. And here is the Polar Bar inside the lobby also. How cool is that? What a fun feel. Just walked outside for the first time. Let's go explore some of Seattle on a beautiful sunny day. Much nicer than yesterday, that's for sure. So for breakfast today, I'm going to a place I've never been before. It's called Skalka. It is a Georgian restaurant, and they have a dish I've always wanted to try. And there is Skalka right there. It was about a 15-minute walk from my hotel, maybe 10 minutes or so. And the dish they serve is called, I think I'm gonna butcher this, hashapuri. It is basically like bread, cheese, a runny egg, seasonings. I've seen it online, I've seen it on TV shows, I've always wanted to try it. The reviews of this place are amazing. Let's go have breakfast. Georgian Bakery and Dumpling House. Food has arrived. It takes about 15 minutes to get your order, 15 to 20 minutes, because they do like hand bake every order. So the bread made in-house. I went with the chicken one. So it's chicken and tomato sauce, a runny egg. There is cheese all on the bottom, and then the bread. And here's the thing, they do have forks on the table. Oh, I also got an orange juice. They have forks on the table, but the idea is that basically you tear the bread, mix it up, dip it, and eat it. So everything on the plate is edible, and oh my God, it looks and smells amazing. Well, I gave it my best effort. I could not finish it, but oh my gosh, it's good. They only have like 6 items on the menu. Basically, it's different versions of this. They have one with, I think, just an egg and cheese. They have one that's stroganoff, so it has like shredded, almost like steak and mushrooms. They have one that's a spinach. I would definitely try all of them. This, the chicken, amazing. Adding this to the rotation for when I come back to Seattle for sure. Just for reference on where Skalka is, you can see it right there on the corner. And then right over here is like the Seattle Great Wheel and the waterfront. So if you're on the waterfront area, you are not far away from it. Now you guys, I have no plans the whole rest of the day. I've got some time to kill. So I think I'm gonna do something that is pretty touristy, but I've never done here in Seattle. Because it is such a sunny day, such a nice day, I think I'm gonna do one of the Seattle harbor cruises and head out on the water. Now I love the Seattle waterfront. It's one of the places I come probably most trips to Seattle, especially on a nice day. But again, I've never gone out on one of the harbor cruises, and Argosy Cruises is right up here, and they have a boat leaving in about a half an hour. I think I want to do it. I've got my ticket for the 12:40 1-hour harbor cruise. I'm gonna get on the boat right over there. And here's the thing, when you've come to Seattle as many times as I have, you sort of start to feel like you've run out of things that you haven't done yet. And I know this is very touristy, but Seattle is a beautiful city, and I imagine it is also beautiful from the water. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. So the ticket for this was $39, including tax was like $44 or so. I actually feel like that's a pretty good deal. So we're here on the upper deck of the boat. You can see skyline ahead of us, the Great Wheel over to the left. Should be leaving here in about 4 or 5 minutes. You can actually see we have a Norwegian cruise ship over there, and then in the distance I think we have a Princess ship and maybe even a Holland America ship on the other side of it. We are leaving from Pier 55. That's where the Argosy dock is. Just like that, we are pulling away from Pier 55. So this is a 1-hour cruise, and they said that we're going to go about 8.5 miles on the journey today, which I think is pretty cool. Look at that view of the Space Needle. And you can see the like the sculpture park down there in front of it. Very cool. Okay, now I can see it is the Royal Princess. We've actually been on that ship. I love that ship. And yep, there's a better view of the Holland America ship right next to it. So I want to know, any of you, any Leg Life viewers, getting on or off the Royal Princess the day that I'm filming this, which is August 16th. Let me know. All right, I grabbed a huckleberry lemonade. It's with I think a local vodka, and that looks delicious. So I didn't know this, but this whole area is called Harbor Island, where it's all like flat over here. This is the largest man-made island in the United States. For a while it was the largest man-made island in the world. I gotta say, I have learned a lot about Seattle that I did not know before, which has been really fun. You can see we have the stadiums right ahead of us, T-Mobile, where the Mariners play. That's actually where I'm going to see the Lumineers tonight, and then Lumen Field to the left where the Seahawks play, where I was last night. So I did not know we were going to get to cruise down by the port area. This is kind of cool. You can see they're actually loading the ship right here. Actually, it looks like they're unloading it at this crane, taking off these connexes. That's really cool. I think we are approaching near the end, but here's a good view of the whole skyline. Again, the stadium's down there. Smith Tower, which is right there in Pioneer Square. That was, actually, that's interesting. They said that that was the tallest building in Seattle until the Space Needle was built. So all of this, the entire Seattle skyline between Smith Tower and the Space Needle were constructed since the Space Needle opened. That's insane. Just like that, we are pulling back into pier, what is it, 55, I believe, between 55 and 56. This was fun. I'm glad I did this. I learned a lot. It's obviously a beautiful day, and I feel like an hour in the sunshine on the water, learning about the city for, what, $39? Definitely well worth it. Now my phone is at 5%, so what I should do is head back to my hotel, but I kind of want to explore the waterfront a little bit more before I go charge my phone. Look at how fun all of the waterfront swings are. Seattle gets a bad rap, but I love this city. All right, phone's at 2%, heading back to my hotel. While I definitely know my way around Seattle, I've never stayed at this hotel before, but I think I'm going to head up this street. This is Columbia, so I'm gonna head up Columbia like maybe 4 or 5 blocks, and I think my hotel will be just kind of up on the right. All right, friends, I have changed. Obviously, I am dressed and ready for the Lumineers concert. My gosh, I'm so excited. So they're doing a number of shows on the West Coast, but I chose tonight's show for a specific reason. Number one, well, a couple of reasons. Number one, Seattle is the easiest flight from Anchorage. But number two, tonight, for this show only on the tour, they have added a second opening act, and it is the band The Head and the Heart. I'm a huge Head and the Heart fan. Saw them up in Anchorage years ago. Absolutely love, love, love them. When I saw The Head and the Heart was opening for the Lumineers here in Seattle, that's when I really, really wanted to go. I've always wanted to see the Lumineers, one of my favorite bands, and to get to see them with another one of my favorite bands, perfection. The other opener, there's a second opener, Tom Odell, who's from the UK. Don't know him a ton. I have been listening to his music. Absolutely love him, love his voice. I think that doors open at 5. Tom Odell goes on at 6:30. Head and the Heart goes on at 7:30. Lumineers go on at 9. I think they've been playing for 2.5 or 3 hours. So probably almost 11:30 or midnight the show will get over. And I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I think I might have said this earlier. I did splurge and get myself a ticket down in the pit because I wanted to be in the middle of it all. First time I've ever seen the Lumineers. I wanted to be right down in the middle of it. So I think I'm gonna start making my way over to the stadium. But you know what? I've been craving something. I've been craving a donut, and I have not had one. There's a donut place here in Seattle called Top Pot. I have had them before. I love them. And there's one that's not too far away. So let's go get a pre-concert donut. All right, now there is a Top Pot Donuts literally right there by my hotel. However, it's closed on the weekends, so we gotta go to one a little further away. I have found it. Top Pot Donuts. Ready to have your heart broken with me? They just closed. It is 5:04, they closed at 5. The website said 6. Ugh, no pre-concert donuts. But tomorrow, gosh darn it, I'm gonna come have a donut. All right, I think that means we should head over to the stadium. Also, I bet this street looks cool at nighttime with all these giant bulbs on. How fun is that? Have made it to T-Mobile Park where the show is. And there's a little bit of a line to get in, but not too bad. We're in the stadium and got the little bracelet that will light up as is customary, I feel like, with all big tours these days. So here's the first view of the show. So I'm gonna be down in the pit, that area in front of the stage. There's not a lot of people down there yet, so I could go and get literally right up on like the fence. But here's the thing, I don't want to stand there for the next several hours. So plus I'm tall, so like I don't want to be up front. Tall people, sorry, we can move back. Let the shorter people see the show. So I don't mind if I'm like near the back of the pit. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm gonna walk around the stadium. All right, well, I kinda lied. I wanted to come down and see it. I'm not gonna stay down here, but oh my gosh, I am definitely glad I got a pit ticket. All right, I got a vodka lemonade. Needed something to drink here in the sunshine. I think the first opener comes on in, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. We're getting close, guys. Here's a look at the stadium. I love T-Mobile Park.
Feel alright. I'm just so tired to share my nights. I wanna
Opener number 1 is done. Next is the head and the heart.
From now, we'll all be gone. All our friends and they're going to their places, but our friends will be.
Head in the heart just finished. Next, the Lumineers.
See how you doing it right so far? Big in my heart. Big in my heart. Ah, yeah. Big in my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Ah. Yourself a favorite ride, take away crossing, take all of your saving now. Oh, oh, baby, you've been on my mind since the flood. Oh, oh, baby, every day I still love the ride.
Well, obviously the concert is over. I don't even have words. I have been to dozens and dozens and dozens of concerts, and this is absolutely top tier. I mean, top 3-5 concerts I've ever been to. Just like it, you know what, I need time to process. That was so much more even than I had hoped. All right, I'm walking back to the Arctic Club. I'm back at the hotel. You guys, I'm exhausted from the show, from the walk home, all of it. Here's what I'll say. This may be the first band, the first show I've ever gone to, where I understand what happened with the Grateful Dead, where they had people that like traveled with them to all of their shows. I don't think I've ever gone to a concert where I so badly wanted to immediately buy another ticket for another one of their concerts. It was, I'm glad I got pit seats, or a pit ticket. Everything about it was just, it was amazing. Like, it was absolutely amazing. Like I said earlier, I need to process it and think about it. But holy cow. But friends, for now, I need to go take a shower. I'm sweaty, I'm gross, I'm exhausted. That is where I'm gonna end this vlog, but I am gonna vlog some tomorrow, fingers crossed, because I kind of have one more day here in Seattle. So a second Seattle vlog coming. Friends, thanks for coming to Seattle with me. Thanks for going to the Seahawks game. Thanks for going to breakfast. Thanks for going on the cruise. Thanks for going to the Lumineers. That was really good. You know, sometimes you need to go to therapy. Sometimes you need a nap. Sometimes you need a good cry. Sometimes you need to buy a pit ticket and go see the Lumineers, because that was so good for my soul. I love you, friends. I'll see you on the next Leg Life video.